everybody at home. Thank you, everybody here. Happy Hanukkah to all the people who are listening to us. And as we know, the great news, one of the greatest news of my entire lifetime, this lifetime, is Tikkun HaZohar is here. So I'm working on this project for a long time, and finally, it's here. Tikkun HaZohar is here. You can order it. Make sure it's in your car, in your bedroom, everywhere. Make sure it's blessing you. Let's go back to our subject. I'm going to talk about Hanukkah tonight. In the end of this lecture, we're going to move light the menorah together, and then we explain some secret about miracle. But let's go to the portion of the week is Mikketz. The word Mikketz means in the end. And the portion, the story is a very beautiful story. Basically, Joseph is coming out of prison because of his capability of solving or interpretation of a dream. And because of that, Pharaoh is basically announcing him to be the second of the Pharaoh, becoming the biggest, richest businessman ever live on this planet, the one who ruled the world inside out, spiritually, physically, everything. And then, of course, comes the biggest story of the Torah, when the brother who sold him to slavery appeared to come for food. You know, so the same people who basically destroy your life is coming out to ask for charity. Now what do? That's a test. And of course, Joseph seemed to be playing with them with all kind of things that making their life miserable and making them feel like confused about what happened. And what is really going on is they pay for the food and then he send them back home with the money. And he says to them, how can you steal the food? And he's teasing them. And of course, we can ask the question, why is he doing it? I mean, Joseph was righteous. And the idea is for a person to change, for a person truly to transform, for a person really to go in from one level to another, a person has to get into a place where the transformation has to be on their own, which means it cannot be just that you change because somebody forced you to change. You have to change on your own. Of course, the initiation can happen by someone, but the change itself has to be from you. And that's why Joseph is giving them a chance to change. What is the chance for a person to change? Problem. You need to have problem. You don't have problem, you can't change. So the problem is the benefit that God or your friend or somebody is giving you. More problem you're going to have, more chance you have to discover who you really are. You can't discover yourself when everything is going well. If everything is going well, how can you discover who you are? You are who you are. It's going perfect. So what would you know about what's happening? I remember when I was a little bit younger, working as a farmer in a kibbutz. So when you work as a farmer, you start to appreciate the weather. We were working with on a cotton field. And the cotton, I don't know if you know, it's basically a vegetables. It looks like very puffy, white. All right? And then you have to make sure that you are basically taking it off the field at the right time. If you wait too long, it's not going to become the best quality. And also a rain might come because it grows up usually in the end of August. September, August, usually the rain season, the first rain season. And if you take it too early, it's too rough. So the clothing that you wear, when you say Egyptian or Middle Eastern cottons, it's a very high quality. And the idea, what I learned by that, from that story, is the idea that what happened when the rain takes place? And what happened with my friend David, who used to be a smoker, when we are working on the cotton field, basically we are collecting with the machine all the cotton into something called bala. Bala is the size of this entire home. And we are pressing the cottons to become one square thing. My friend, we are working in the daytime. You don't see that a little bit spark from the cigarette can basically take everything away, all the work of 2 months. You don't see it. So he spoke. And he could look at me and say, yeah, I love this job. And then it's gone. After 3 minutes, it's gone. So what's going on? We don't put it because you don't see the fire. It's very interesting. But you learn a lesson. You don't smoke. So what the lesson that you learn about your life when you went through a problem, that's the most important lesson. Joseph is causing the brother to have difficult time between each other. It's causing them doubting their ability to manage their life. And in the end of all of it, it's causing them a self-discovery of who they really are. It's very easy to run or to walk or to behave when everything is going well. Very difficult to behave in the right way when everything is going away. And there's one of my students named Bob. Bob had 3 heart surgery, 3 cancer, 3 other surgery. He's not young. And everybody around him afraid he's going to die. And so sometimes they wake him up at night, as he tells me his wife waking up, panicking. And he wake up, what happened? So I just want to make sure you're still alive. Now he called me and he told me that. Somebody who's 92 years old, it's funny. It's funny, it's actually funny. And he teaches me a lot of lessons. He's one of my greatest mentor in business, greatest mentor in life. You know, not necessarily spirituality, but everything else is my mentor. And the reason I call him my mentor, because it's fun to talk to him and understand that all the problems we went through, he can teach each and every one of us about life. So remember, if you are one of the brothers of Joseph this week, and you're going through some problem, those problems exactly design who you are. You only can be designed to the problem you're going through. If you have nobody who causes you harm or problem, you cannot design yourself. All right? So let's see how we deal with that Zohar. What does Zohar share with us this week? We don't have the microphone yet, huh? You have to speak loud, Michelle. Sorry. So we're going to start with the power of forgiveness. And again, I can't tell you how excited I am that the Zohar, Tikkunei Zohar arrived today. You know, the first print of Tikkunei Zohar arrived today. I'm in heaven because I don't feel worthy of printing Rabbi Shimon's book, especially Tikkunei Zohar, the only part that was written in the cave. And I said, Debbie, why us? Why are we capable to print Tikkunei Zohar? Many rabbis try, many people try. They print Zohar, but not Tikkunei Zohar. So we look at each other and say, I guess we need more help than others. That's the only reason I can find. I don't find any other reason. We're definitely not in that place that we can be worthy of printing it. So it's definitely we need help. But I'm telling you one thing. Whoever read it, touch it, look at it, it's like you're in the cave. And the reason the Tikkunei Zohar is important, those of you who study deep Kabbalah, it's called Gimel Rishonot, Keter Chochma Bina. The book has Zayin Tachtonot, has 7 Sfirot, and Keter Chochma Bina. The reason he buried himself till the neck, so we can get only Keter Chochma Bina of the Zohar. That's what Tikkunei Zohar is. Okay? That's what it is. Now, let's read now in English.
Come and behold, Joseph not only abstained from causing evil to his brothers, he also did kindness and truth by them. This is always the way of the righteous. Therefore, the Holy One, blessed be he, always has compassion for them in this world and the world to come.
So first we understand this first step of spirituality is forgiveness. It's the most difficult thing to do, by the way. To forgive people, specifically people who hurt you, people who didn't not have been kind to you. So let's get deeper into it. Please go ahead.
Rabbi Abba sat at the gate of the city of Lod. He said he saw a man sitting on a ledge protruding from a mountainside. He was weary from the road, so he sat down and slept. While he was sleeping, he saw a snake coming toward him. A reptile emerged and killed the snake. When the man woke, he saw the dead snake. He stood up on the ledge, which has been torn from the mountain, fell to the valley below. Thus he was saved, for he had risen a moment later. He would have fallen together with the ledge into the valley and been killed.
And we continue, please.
Rabbi Abba came to him and said, What have you done that the Holy One, blessed be he, performed for you 2 miracles, saving you from the snake and from the ledge that fell? For these events did not happen without reason. The man said, In all my days I forgave and made peace with any man who did evil by me. If I could not make peace with him, I did not sleep on my bed before forgiving him and all of those who grieved me. Thus I did not harbor hatred all that day for the harm he did me. Moreover, from the day on, I tried to do kindness by them.
Great. My dear friend, the portion of Mikketz, all about forgiveness. Joseph is the leader. Why is he the leader? What makes Joseph better than everybody else? Joseph has the capability of forgiveness. So you want to know how to become a leader. You are in a course now, let's say you walk in, you want to become how to become a leader in 5 minutes. Are you willing to forgive, truly to forgive, not just on the outside so everybody say, wow, an amazing person? People who took from you, people who hurt you, people who take advantage of you, people who did mistake to you, people who hurt your feeling. If you're not capable to forgive, you will be exactly in the moment of where the bad thing happened to you. So let's say 5 years ago, somebody hurt you or hurt your feeling. So you are right now in 2012. In 2012, you stuck there right now and you're not capable to move on to the next thing. Not because just life has been bad and you have tough luck. It's simply because you can't move on and forgive them. So forgiveness is not some type of manners and a nice thing that you're doing. Forgiveness has to do with you saving yourself again, making yourself a leader, capable to move on. What about the people that you forgive? Are you supposed to forgive people who are basically did bad thing to you? Well, it's not about supposed to or not supposed to. Where do you want to be? Do you want to be 12 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago? Where do you want to be? If you don't want to move on, that's up to you. It's nothing to do with the other person. Yeah, the other person might harm you, hurt your feeling, all of the above. But where do you want to be? The question is, where do you want to be? What is a leader? We talk about Joseph, right? He's the leader. The most famous leader ever lived. Joseph. What was his specialty? Forgiveness. He was capable to say, that happened in the past. What about now? I don't know. What about now? What about now? That happened in the past. A lot of time, I think one of the things that we do terrible, we are not living, not just in the moment. We are carrying the history with us. We base our present on the history. We are not living in the moment. We are living in the history. And when you live in the history, what happened to you? What happened to you? You start having an opinion on people, on a situation, you're very close-minded. And then you no longer can accept what's happening in the now, in the future, and you're missing a lot on life. And of course you can lead. Leader has to lead toward the future, not toward what happened in the past. It's very good to know and learn from history and watch History Channel. It's great, but you have to move on. Because if you don't move on, unfortunately you're doing almost like a crime to yourself. So the one who gets hurt the most by not moving on, by not forgiving, I shouldn't say moving on. It's more than moving on, it's forgiveness. Did you forgive God lately for whatever happened to your life? God is the first one to forgive. Did you forgive yourself lately? Did you forgive people around you? Those are the three subjects, my friend. God, you, and people. Those are the three things. If you're not ready to be a leader yet. If you hold grudge, you're not ready to lead anybody. You're not ready to lead anybody. And this is very important to understand. How do you test yourself that you're there? Look at the worst enemy in your life. People who hurt you and your family and everything. If tomorrow they call you, say, hi, how are you? Can I come to dinner in your house? And you cannot say no to them. And you cannot say yes to them, my man. You're not there yet. It doesn't mean you're a bad person, but you're not meant to be a leader. A leader is not a title. A leader is a transformation that needs to be done. Joseph was there. He was in prison, my friend. 20 years, my God, my God. He was a slave. Oh my God. All his young life was going to slavery in prison. He didn't do anything to them but telling them a dream. A dream. He went to tell his brother a dream that he had. They want to kill him. They tried to kill him. Then they didn't. Then it's all the slavery. And what is he doing? He welcomed them into the palace of Pharaoh, playing some game with them that seemed on the outside like he abused them, but actually making them earning the moment of understanding what they did so they can do tshuva, so they can change. But the main thing that he's doing is forgiveness. Rabbi Abba, walking into that city, and you see a gentleman that has too many miracles. What does that mean, too many miracles? Tonight is Hanukkah. What is miracle? What is miracle? Miracle is when you are doing something way out of your comfort zone, way out of your capability to change it, and you're doing something called Mesirut Nefesh, as the Tikkunei Zohar talk about. Mesirut Nefesh means self-sacrifice, like the Maccabee did in Hanukkah. And through that, you can draw any miracle you want. Any miracle. Not just the miracle you want, any miracle. Now, what is a miracle? People ask me, what is a miracle, Eliyahu? So I put it on Facebook, make sure everybody got it. So most people think a miracle, you are sick, you get healthy. You're poor, you make money. What about if you have $20 million and you want to make $200 million? Would it be a miracle to jump under 80? Of course. But most people, with the guilt of religion in their brain, always want problem, and then solving the problem is the miracle. Why are you getting problem, man? Why? Why you need the problem? Your life is perfect now? Now let's perfect even better. Don't you think God has something for you? Don't you think God want to give you more? Don't you think God want to give you more money, more love, more everything, more health? Of course, yes. But the question is simple. Do you want a miracle as something that will solve the problem you're going through right now? Or you want a miracle additional to what you have? This guy, we don't know if he was poor or anything like that. Could be, this is, I don't know, president of, I don't know, some city, some place, some country. Rich. He has his private jet, helicopter, you can judge him now. But he forgive everybody. Everybody. And if they don't forgive him, what did he say before he go to sleep? He said, dear God, he go into the fourth blessing, the fifth blessing in the Amidah. What we say, Slach lanu avinu ki pashanu. We say, forgive us, God, because we crime. As we're all saying it every day, I'm sure 3 times. And when we are praying that and we're saying it, we're asking God to help us to forgive. I want to be a leader. And the one rules about the leader is to forgive. If you're not capable to forgive, it don't make you a bad person. Just don't lead people. You can lead. Leaders are always the one who forgive. Always. If you're not capable of forgiving, what are you going to tell the people who follow you? What are you going to tell them? Hate. I'm teaching you to hate. You only can teach one lesson. Can you forgive? If you cannot forgive, you cannot jump to your next level, to your potential level, to your Or Mekif. Because your potential level exists in a place which is not now and it's not yesterday. Your potential is in the future. To reach to your future, to reach your potential, you have to say goodbye to something. And you know how hard it is. You know, somebody shared with me tonight about the fire that was taking place, last week, right? A week ago. There's a fire in Santa Clarita, you say? Santa Clarita fire. And decision that people have to make, what are you taking with you? Wow, tough thing. What are you taking with you? 8 hours, fire is coming. What are you packing? Chanukiah? Should I leave the kids here or take them? What am I taking? What about my cheesecake? Oh, cheesecake, I got it. I'm not talking about like the physical thing. I'm talking about like, what are you living in your own house? What is it you're not forgiving? You're right, people did bad thing to you. Very bad thing to you. You know, today is the first time I get a compliment from somebody who's not my student. I'm so blessed. You know, somebody who's totally not really into me and not at all into what I'm doing and the change I'm doing. And invited me for lunch. I was surprised. My wife said, well, why are you going? I said, I don't know. Where is going to go? You never know. Never know. And actually, I got a compliment, you know. It's very hard in those days to get one. I said, why are you saying those things? I said, because I'm watching you. I want nothing to do with you, but what you're doing is something I want to do with you. So you don't want nothing to do with you? I love you. I said, no problem. Hanukkah, happy Hanukkah. What I'm trying to tell you guys, there is beauty about forgiveness, but it's beyond the beauty of manners. It's free you. It's teaching you there is a new level to you. There is something waiting for you to be discovered. But you cannot make your children forgive. You cannot make sure your mother forgive, your sister, your brother. You can make others. You have to forgive. That's it. It's only between you and yourself. Now, look what Rabbi Abba said, and that's shocking. Go ahead.
Rabbi Abba wept and said, "This man's deed exceed those of Joseph. As for Joseph, those who injured him were his brothers. Assuredly, he should have pitied them from brotherhood. But this one behaved so to any man. So he is greater than Joseph, and is worthy to have the Holy One, blessed be he, perform one miracle after the other for his sake."
Okay, so I want to discuss it with you. What do you think about it? I had a difficult time today with that, because here is a rabbi who's actually speak that gentleman, nobody's at the level of Joseph. He say, this guy is greater than Joseph. What do you think about it? I mean, I have some doubts about it. I'm not judging Rabbi Abba. God forbid, please forgive me. I'm just like to hear an opinion. It's good to have a debate over that. So what do you think about that? You understand what he say, right? What do you think?
I think it's harder to forgive people that are closer to you. That's why.
It's not what he say. He say that gentleman is greater than Joseph, because that was his brother, and he should. It's easier. It's a difficult. I mean, for me, it's difficult. What do you think? You can read it again. Take a few moments. And people at home, if you want to text Debbie your question, please. You okay with that? You comfortable with that? If you're comfortable, we can move on.
You're saying it's inherently in you to forgive a family member.
Yeah.
It's harder to
Yeah.
forgive a random
Yeah, you agree with that?
I can see that.
You can see that? You have a brother?
I have a brother.
You have a brother. You guys, you okay?
Yeah.
You going out every night together? I'm so sorry to put you on the spot. It's a family, it's a situation. I tell you, last night, I mean, she doesn't listen to my lectures, so I can talk about my sister. So last night, I said to my sister, I have 3 sisters, I don't have a brother. So you have to be careful. If you talk to one, you have to say it right, because it's not good if it doesn't come out right. So I always been careful. I have scratch all over me if I said the wrong word. Physical scratch. So because I'm the younger, so you get, it's different. So I asked my sister, I guess ask her if everything is okay. So can you be more direct, and what exactly you're asking and what you want? My sister is Sagittarius, very, very strong. So no, just simple. How is my other 2 sisters? So why are you asking me? You know, it's become not good. And then I say, happy birthday, by the way. I know it's Sagittarius, you know, to get out. You know, sometimes you find the exit. Oh, happy birthday. Your birthday is now? How are you? Is your birthday going okay? And what do you want about my sister? Huh? And it didn't go well. I didn't do a good job. Then I called my other 2 sisters, and I guess there is something going on, and I didn't know. So, no good. So, I think sometimes family is, I don't know, I mean, most of you don't have, like, in America we have 2 brothers, that's it, or 3 maximum. But there is family who has more, and there is sometimes, as you grow up, fight over money, you know. I don't know if you know about it, but I don't know if you know, but if when the parents are going to the next level, there is all of a sudden sisterhood or brotherhood. Can I say that in English? Sisterhood and brotherhood become different, very different. And usually you blame the wife or the husband of, as you say, no, I don't want the money, it's my wife. My wife and the 2 brothers. I'm totally with you, but my wife, she's causing a lot of problems, you know. So that's why when I read it, I said, really? But I don't want to say Rabbi Abba is wrong. I'm just bringing it to you. I don't know. I don't have an opinion over that. I'm just sharing with you the Zohar. So what do you think? Somebody else want to share something?
I think when like your family betrays you or does something, it hurts a lot more.
It's not a lot.
Strangers does that.
Yes, it hurts so bad. My sister called my mom and say, Eliyahu and Debbie said that their kids are much better than mine. Never said it in my life, never. So my mother called, and my mother is very direct when something like this happened. So he said, yeah, I'm very disappointed. I said, why are you so disappointed? You said you're spiritual, you're some kind of rabbi, you teach some spirituality. So yeah, I'm really doing it. You speak bad about your sister's kids. So they would speak, she say it. I don't know, she say it. So, but I didn't say it. So, she say it. I'm very sad. So now I'm supposed to apologize for something I didn't do, and I did it. In the end, I did it. I was very upset about it, but I did. So family can be, it's a tikkun. It's a difficult tikkun. It's a difficult tikkun. So I'm trying to understand it. I want to tell you that I'm fully there, but yes, you love them. The Ari said, yeah, the Ari said that you love them, and because of that, you get more disappointed. You know, the pain of Joseph, you need to understand that 22 years in prison, people don't get it. It's not the prison of today when you have coffee and somebody, we had, you know, we have Dunkin' Donuts or Starbucks. Okay, let me have Dunkin' Donuts, you know. No good. No good. It's one of those prisons that you see in a movie, like the what is the name of that movie when he Revenge after he went to prison, Monte Cristo, one of those prisons, you know. So I think, I mean, I can solve it right now. I try. I mean, the only way I can look at it is that the amount of miracle that this person in Lod went through, it could not be explained. And the idea is that Rabbi Abba, who lived 300 years old, he went to Babylonia to give the Zohar to the Chachamim, to the sages. Rabbi Shimon blessed him to live long life, so the Zohar can be spread. And he wanted to teach people that he met this man that is a simple man. So if the miracle happened to Joseph, we're going to say because Joseph is righteous. But we're talking about a simple man. And a simple man, a miracle will happen to him. He's talking to us. He said to us, people, you are simple people. And if you want a miracle as a simple people, I'm going to give you a gift. What is the gift I'm giving you? Forgive. But what about somebody? Forgive. And I'm going to give you the gift of miracle. It's worth it. You're missing miracle? Forgive. Once you have that first breath of forgiveness, everything open up. And I can tell you now, try it, and you will not believe how powerful it's going to go. That gentleman who took me to lunch today showed me something, and I said, how much you're proud of me and what I'm doing, that I opened an organization, and he couldn't believe that in 1 year we are where we are. A lot of compliment. He wouldn't come here, but he complimented me. And then, exactly. But he says something nice in a hint, and he says most people go to court, get a lawyer, go to fight with whoever caused them harm. And it's so stupid because they're missing 2 years of their life or 3 years of their life fighting. And they get what they want in the end, and then they're miserable. Some people, instead of it, now his father happened to be worth about 2.5 billion. It's not easy money to make. So his father is about 92 years old. So his father gave him all that lesson. He said to him, if you have issue in court, try to avoid it and live your life, because otherwise you're going to be 2 or 3 years in court. So better to pay and get out than stay. And his father told him, that's not a spiritual father, that forgiveness is what teach him the lessons of life, what make him so successful. That he many times people has really caused him a lot of problem in business, but because he moved on, he found new business, and the other one was much smaller. Can we move on? That's a question. Let's now go to one of my favorite sections in the Zohar. I'm giving you only a part of it, but I highly recommend you read the whole Zohar of Mikketz, because within the Zohar of Mikketz you have business making, like money making. Within the Zohar of the Mikketz is solving of problems, solving issue. If you go to court, you read the Zohar of Mikketz. It helps with any issue. The roots of all fear. Let's read about it, please. Go ahead.
And Joseph recognized his brethren, but they recognized him not. Rabbi Elazar quoted the verse, "Why should I fear in the days of evil, when the iniquity of my persecutors compasses me about? Come and behold, as was said by the sages, there are three classes of those who fear, yet do not know what they fear. But in addition to these three, there is he who fears, yet does not know what he fears, because he commits sins unknowingly. He therefore fears the days of evil."
Okay, so let's see how it's connected to the Parsha. Before we talk about fear, first understand, it says Joseph knew them, they didn't know him. Meaning there is something here about secret about knowing. And the idea of knowing, you have to know your fear, you have to know your issue. If you don't know your issue, then you will start to develop all kind of problems that you cannot get rid of. That's the first lesson. So again, I'm repeating it again, very important. You have to know. Which means know, it says Joseph knew them. We think it's only related to the brother, but it's more than that. He knew them, it means he knew his problem. If you don't know your problem, you cannot grow. You cannot move on. The first thing is recognize, what's my issue? What's my problem? Second thing, they didn't know. And that's why they develop fear. Now, what is that you need to know about your life? So the Zohar said, the fear of all fear is when you have fear, but you don't know why you have fear. And I'm sure all of us experience that. And before I teach that, I said, Debbie, I showed it to Debbie, I said, this is my favorite section, but I'm not a tzaddik that I can teach it. So Debbie said, what, you teaching only the part that you believe you have it? That's an ego. It's a good point. So you teach it because it's written in the Zohar, not because you're there. So it's a good point. So I'm teaching you not because I'm there, I'm teaching you because I want to share this with you so we all can be there together, okay? That's very, very important because sometimes I'm careful. So how can I say it? I'm not saying it, the Zohar is saying it. I'm just the speaking guy who's speaking what the Zohar has to say. So we have to remember that, okay? So let's see where the fear comes from. You ready? Let's go ahead. He asks,
"What are the days of evil?" He said, "These are the days meant for evil. It is the evil inclination called evil, which on certain days is given permission in the world to lead astray those who defile their ways by spilling semen in vain. Whoever wishes to be polluted is defiled. They are called days of evil, reserved for punishment for transgressions that a man treads under his heels. Come and behold, packs of fiends awaits to defile those who defile their ways. A man is led in the very way he chooses to walk. A man who wishes to be purified has many helpers."
we have a tough section here, guys. All right, I never mentioned that to you, right? Tough section. All right, semen, seed, sperm. So this week, somebody sent me, I don't know if you ever follow TED, TED Talk. So there is TED Talk, and I highly recommend it. Debbie can send it to all of you. It's a TED Talk about sexuality of a man, but the teacher, if you're okay for the man, it's for a woman. It's a professor that she teaches about sexuality. So for men to listen to her, she's a little tough, but great session, 22 minutes. Direct, a little bit, very direct. But I love that TED Talk thing because sometimes they have good stuff. Sometimes it's boring, but there is a lot of good things there that you can get if you get the right one. So I have a friend in Israel, he sent me from time to time the good stuff. Now, what is semen, right? And you ask yourself, it has to do with fear. What is that has to do with fear? I mean, doesn't seem to have any connection between that and fear. Fear is fear. Person has fear. You wake up in the morning, he's afraid. Fear. But there is a fear that you don't even know that you have and why you even have that fear. So it's saying that there is evil inclination who is attacking the person in the specific time. So first we have to know, now we have another player. You are not doing negative thing because you want to. You are doing negative thing because there is a force out there that forces you to do this negative thing. So you don't even have free will on behaving bad. When you want to behave bad, there is something that guiding you to behave the worst that you can behave. You don't even know what you're doing. So when people look at sex, they look at seem like masturbation as something that, if you go to a psychologist, a sex therapist, usually they will tell you masturbation is part of, releasing and all this and that. Today things change, just to let you know. Psychologists start looking at it in a different way. And she said in TED Talk, she say, how much is too much? She asked that question, how much is too much? I'm not going to tell you the answer. It's from a psychiatrist's point of view, psychologist's point of view. You can go ahead and watch it. But the idea is, how is that connected to fear? So let's continue, and then I will give you the answer.
"We have learned that when a man wakes up in the morning, he should wash his hands with a laver, and he should be washed by someone who is already washed, as has been explained. Come and behold. We have learned all this for the sake of the laver. This exposition was meant to teach us that we need a laver to wash our hands in the morning.
Okay, this is sound like halakha, this is sound like religion, but the idea is slowly it's explained to us that we need to be clean. Clean. Now, is the sex make you dirty? Are we here to be Catholic or ultra Jewish Orthodox or, I don't know, anti-sex group? That's not what we're teaching, right? We are here to explain that why a person has a sex drive. Do you choose it, or there is a force who forces you to have it? Where are you coming from? Are you actually controlling it, or there is an evil side in you that make you, I have to do it. I want to do it. It's the time for me to do it. And you have to know where you come from. But for that reason, person has to be clean. When you wake up in the morning, of course, there is something called washing of the hand. Most people look at it like, no big deal, just wash your hands. No, I tell you, you have to use a cup. And you have to know how to do it. Why? Because there is a klipa, I cannot say the name of the klipa, that actually sitting on your left hand. First thing in the morning. Most people like to take their partner and start kissing them. In the morning. Basically, they take the klipa from here, put it on their face.
Oh my God.
Beautiful. I give you my klipa. Much cleaner now, thank God. Romantic. I gave you my garbage, take it. He say, can't do that. Now, your partner wake up in the morning, say, I don't know, I have this panic attack. So of course you have panic attack. You have my fear and your fear together in your face, right? The washing of the hand, unfortunately, because of religion, turned into be the wrong thing. People don't want to do it because it's religion. I grew up in an Orthodox Jewish school, so we always had to wash hand. I didn't know why. When I read Rabbi Isaac Luria book, I realized there is a klipa. You go to sleep, your soul leave, and instead of the soul, there is a dark things going into your body. Now the soul in the morning come in, push that klipa away, but the klipa doesn't want to go away. Where is it sitting? Left hand. Always on the left hand. Sitting there. So now you touch your nose. No good. That's why old Kabbalists, what they used to do, put it next to their bed. They put the thing we wash hands with, and like a bowl. It's not for religious reasons. Oh, you're too fanatic. No. So when they wake up, the first thing they do, they wash hand. First thing they do. But of course, the water has to be covered because water that is exposed at night also receives that negative energy. So you have to know how to do it. And he continued, 118. Go ahead.
We have learned that a man should wash his right hand with his left hand, so that the left will serve the right, and the right will thus be stronger than the left. The right should be laved by the left. The washing is expressly intended to ensure that the right will rule over the left. Therefore, when washing the hands, it behooves one to wash the right with the left, thus causing the right to rule over the left, so as not to give the evil inclination an opening to rule at all.
So what happened with washing of the hand, guys? We don't take it very seriously, but this is the thing that leave the klipa away from you. Klipa out of my life. This is in the morning. This is when you go to the bathroom. This is when you do whatever you do, things that the washing itself, it even remove the ability to be poor, if you can call it ability, but the ability to be poor, or you don't want to be a poor person. Everything about washing the hand, if you do it right with the right consciousness, I hope you will ask each other after that, those of you who don't know how to do it. Because by doing that, it's not just a religious ceremony act. It's removing that klipa that eventually is seducing you to do the wrong thing that you shouldn't be doing. That's the reason. And we continue, please.
Come and behold the verse. Woe to them that draw iniquity with cords of vanity, and sin as it were with a cart rope. The cords of vanity are the sins that he treads under his heels without thinking of it. They are then strengthened into a cart rope. The sins become stronger and lead him astray in this world and the world to come. Happy are the righteous who knows how to be guarded against their sins and always examine their deeds, so that no accuser will be found against them in this world, nor turn them from their way in the world to come. The Torah prepares for them ways and paths on which to walk, as it is written. Her ways are the ways of the pleasantness, and all her paths are peace.
Thank you. So, guys, what's your purpose in life? Is your purpose is money, fame, the children to grow well? I don't know. There's so many purposes in life. But the number one purpose that we came really for, that God created us for, is a self-development. That's it. That's the one purpose you are here for. You have to grow spiritually. This is the one reason we are all here in this universe. You're not even here to be a mother, to be a father. You're not even here to make money. That's not your mission. Your mission is you need to grow spiritually. So if you're not being aware of your evil side, evil inclination side, that's when you're missing a lot on life. Between life just going by and you're missing it. It just go by and you're missing it. Now the question is, you're suffering from fear. The only reason for you to have fear is when the evil inclination start playing with your brain. That's the only reason. So if you have fear of money, fear of not having money, fear of love, fear of health, fear of any type of fear, it's when the evil inclination already play a game with you. If you meet somebody who has fear, same reason. Now we all have fear somehow, because fear makes you a normal person. You have to be afraid of something. If you don't have fear at all, something's wrong. You know, mentally healed people don't have fear. So the fear is being given to you as a tool to basically become better. You should not ignore them. But at the same time, the fear is coming from the dark side. The dark side creates something called evil inclination. Evil inclination is come to inject into your body and soul. Always worry that you don't know if you're going to make it or not. That worry create lack, create emptiness. Within this emptiness, the problem come in. And then you bring the wrong people into your life, the wrong business deal into your life, the wrong love story into your life, the wrong health issue into your life, all those things coming into your life. If we don't have that drive all the time to overcome that, not fear, that evil inclination, then the fear is already there. Most people try to overcome their fear, but not a lot of people try to avoid the real reason of fear, which is called evil inclination. Last thing before we light the menorah, I call it happy money. So let's read that.
Similarly, Joseph was sad in mind and spirit, because he was in prison. Once Pharaoh had sent him for him, it was written, and they brought him hastily, which means that he was appeased him and addressed him with joyful words that gladdened the heart. Why? Because he was dejected from sitting in the dungeon. Come and behold, first he fell into a pit, and from the pit he later rose to greatness.
So the biggest question, do you dress nice and then make money, or you make money and then dress nice? I think the answer is here. It's called Vayiretzu min habor. Vayiretzu min habor. They took him out of the pit. They took him out of prison. Vayiretzu comes from the word merutze. Merutze means satisfaction. Meaning the satisfaction comes before success. If the satisfaction comes after success, it will not dare to last. But if your satisfaction comes after, it's always a problem if it's come before. First feel satisfied, feel beautiful, feel good, feel great, and then you draw the right people into your life. I'm sure you read the book The Secret, right, with all those successful people and spiritual people. They all go back to the same thing. Who are you now? Who are you now? Different than religious people, that I'm religious myself, but different than religious mind people, you know? Meaning people who are always tell you, you have to find what's wrong with you every day. No, you're not going to find anybody good in your life if you find what's wrong with you. Yes, you have to look in and change it, but don't be depressed over your mistake. And the idea is, are you satisfied? Are you merutze? Vayiretzu min habor. Are you satisfied from your life as it is right now? When I saw the Zohar, Tikkunei Zohar today that we printed, you know, we're working on it for a long time until we get it right. And I saw Debbie just now. So I said, oh my God, Hanukkah, it's the biggest gift ever God gave me, to be able to print it. And I'm looking at it, I said, wow. You know, sometimes you see in the Zohar that the sages say, if I'm not come to this universe just for this moment, that would be like enough. To print Tikkunei Zohar from Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, was only the section he wrote in the cave, because the Zohar is a different part. That's the section, it's only written in the cave. So it's written, whoever will study it, whoever will deal with it, any miracle you ask for, just hold it, any miracle. I mean, what kind of things? I mean, and I know it's Aramaic and Hebrew, so some of you don't read Hebrew, cannot read it, you know, and you're going back to the business of scan or look at it later. But I'm telling you that what Joseph is teaching us here is a drive of success. Success can only happen if you are in the mindset that you're satisfied already. And then you can have additional success. But if you are looking for success because you don't have it, you're going to draw into your life the worst people that will destroy your business, destroy your life, because they are like you. They are also looking for success. They are also running on empty. Every business person, every head of organization know that everything going in a cycle. You got to get rid of some people and you got to get some people. Everybody know that. I coach many people in my life, thousands of people. So all kind of story. Cycle. And when people said, I'm ready to grow, I say, are you ready to lose? Once they say yes, they're going to make it. If you're not ready to lose, and you feel that what you have, this is it, and you are not letting go because you can't forgive and so on and so on, the new picture that's waiting for you cannot be yours. Second thing of success, are you satisfied where you are right now in this moment? If the answer is yes, then you are ready actually for the next chapter. But if you're not satisfied and you want to get the next chapter to make you satisfied, then you are not dressing nice for the next chapter. You want the next chapter to happen so you can get dressed nice. You gotta do it the opposite way. Dress nice, and then the next chapter will find you. Don't wait for the next chapter to come and say, wow, there is a good reason now to celebrate. No, celebrate, and then they will give you a good reason. Don't wait for the good reason to celebrate. And this is a very important thing, that if we can get to this consciousness, then we get into Yosef this week parasha. And there's nothing more you can do in Hanukkah, in those 8 days, than just be in this mindset. Debbie, you want me to explain Hanukkah here, or you want me to explain it next to the menorah?
Explain it here, and then we'll do.
We just lie there?
Yeah.
Okay. So first, any question about the parasha before I explain to you some deep consciousness of, I gave this lecture to New York yesterday, so I can give it here again. Yes, question about the parasha? Yes?
I have a question. To forget is count as forgive?
What's that?
Like he was talking about that it's like, to
Forgive, yeah.
But to forget, is it?
If you forget, you don't need to forgive because you don't even remember. Very simple. It's a very simple formula. It's very simple. You forgot, so you need to forgive. So why to forget? If you don't forgive, you can forgive every day again and again and again. You know, I didn't grow up, I have great parents and great family, but I didn't grow up in a family that show emotions. So for many years I had the issue with my family. Why would I grow up like that? People don't hug, don't kiss, don't touch, you know. My father was suffering from obsessive compulsive behavior, which cleaning too much, so he would not hug you. So it's a weird family to grow with, because he had the issue. He grew up as an orphan during the war. So we're talking about like difficult to forgive that type of family, you know. But you grow up to understand that they give you one of the greatest gifts. That's after you forgive them, which is to behave different than them. And the idea, if you cannot forgive people who you believe shape you in the wrong way, like parents, or abuse you even abuse. You know, as my sister brought it to my attention, and last time I was in Israel, my sister was very strict and very strong, and she say, you just try to be Mr. Positive and you live in denial. There is a bad thing that happened to us as kids, and you don't want to talk about it. I said, no, it never happened. And she reminded me 3 events. I said, how can you let go of that? I said, well, I did some work. You know, I did many years of work and capable to get out. I don't want to get stuck there, you know. And I recommend for them to do the same work. They don't move on of a story that happened 33 years ago. I can't get stuck there. It happened, yes, it is happened. I think every family has some type of, dysfunctional situation with a father or mother. That's weird. Everybody went through something, you know? And if you think it's money change it, I'm telling you not. I'm teaching rich and I'm teaching poor. I teach people who cannot pay for lunch. And I teach people who can buy a private jet. I'm telling you, no different, no different. Everybody has issues. I'm telling you, everybody has issues. Some people with money said, that's the biggest problem of my life. And some people who don't have money said, it's the biggest problem of my life. You understand? It's a weird like that. Because when you forgive, you start to realize something new. And it's called, it's up to me. It's a new lesson. I forgive you, and it's up to me to have a good life or not. Well, I'm not going to have a good life because my father never said, I love you. What, I'm going to get stuck with that? What I'm going to do? What I'm going to do? That wasn't his thing. You know? We grew up in the 60s. We grew up in the end of the 60s. People were, you know, today if my children don't hear me, if I need to tell my kids something, it's a whole discussion group. We do the workshop here. We're going to open a workshop. You know? My father moved me with his eyes. It was just, he didn't talk to me. He would come in and look at me. Wherever the eyes move, the body was moving, you know? It doesn't even need to slap me, you know? It was like, and you check yourself if everything's okay. Yeah, I'm sorry to say it, but what did I do? You know, today there is a whole workshop. What I meant, and this, it's not what exactly I said, and forgive me, and I didn't mean it. You know, we are in different time. So what are we going to do? And I'm sure my kids grow, they're going to tell a lecture. Oh, my father never got it. So we all look, forgive, move on. They did the best they can. My parents' job was to make money and to make sure we survive. That's it. That's all the mission. They did best in that area. That's it. So forgive them. They didn't know what was that love and all this. What did love? Love. We have to pay the bill. That's what love is. You know? You want to say love you? Love you means I paid your school. That's love you. You know? I manipulate my father. He was having a Parkinson for 11 years. So, and I get to his brain until he tells me I love you. I make him I love you. So I don't know if it was real one or a cheating one, but I say I love you until he say it. 3 years, I feed his brain, I love you, and he say it. He say it, I love you, son. So it was a moment. It was a moment for me. I eat a snack and he say it. You know, it's kind of snack. It's a very important moment. First and last. So I think my father did a great job. You know, this wasn't his area. So if I can forgive him, I'm stuck 33 years ago. So I told my sisters, say, I can't do that. I just can't. And I know for girls it's different. The father not being there and the mother, it's different. I just want to mention. Anyway, Hanukkah.